Welcome. You are now tuned in to Everyday People Radio Show on Intellectual Radio and iHeart Radio Station. I am your host, April Deshawn. Thank you for allowing us into your space and taking your time out to enjoy the day with us. I have today an awesome hip hop artist, Abdullah, and we're going to get it in today. If you guys want to give us a call, the number is 708-223-8953. Again, that number is 708-223-8953. I'm going to start off with a scripture from Galatians 5:13. You guys have heard me say this before. You, my brothers and sisters, are called to be free, but do not use your freedom to indulge in the flesh. Rather, serve one another humbly in love. For the entire law is fulfilled in keeping this one command: love your neighbor as yourself. If you bite and devour each other, watch out. You will be destroyed by each other. So love each other. That's what that scripture is all about. This is Everyday People Radio Show, and we're all about connecting humanity. We can also advertise on this show. So if you're looking to advertise, just contact me under April Deshawn on Facebook. You can send me an email. The email address is SUNUP, the number 2, SUNUP @gmail.com. That's sunup to sunup @gmail.com. And I'll be happy to assist you. If you advertise on Everyday People Show, your product or business is the commercial. You get on-the-spot recorded national exposure. Therefore, with online internet radio, there is no commercial. So you get more airtime and you get more viewings with more airtime. Your product is the commercial. Your business event will be advertised and promoted your way. So you guys call me up if you want to get your advertisement on Everyday People Radio Show. It's the place for you. We're going to take a brief poetry break, and we're going to start off this interview with Abdullah.
All right. Black men, we're unity building. We're all about our women and all about our children. Black men, we're unity building. We're all about our women and all about our children. Black men, we're unity building. We're all about our women and all about our children. Black men, we're unity building. We're all about our women and all about our children. Black men, we're unity building. We're all about our women and all about our children. We unify in millions, military and civilians. We have allies in this world that number billions. Our protection in the hood is what we're missing. I ain't talking about cooking up dope in the kitchen. Black men united is such a powerful engine. We got so many things in common. Our souls are kindred. We must make an effort to fix our community. With black men around, our kids won't act foolishly. And we can put an end to all this stupidity. Between black men and women, we need immunity. Ladies, never ever doubt a black man's strength. To prove his love to you, he'll go the extra lengths. Loyalty and honesty is more important than chilling. Black men, we have a job in this unity building. Black men, we're unity building. We're all about our women and all about our children. Black men, we're unity building. We're all about our women and all about our children. Black men, we're unity building. We're all about our women and all about our children. Black men, we're unity building. We're all about our women and all about our children. Black men, we're unity building. We're all about our movement and all about our people. Let's try to live peaceful and make that a sequel. Do what we can to eliminate this evil. The Indian beast is a shining example. Desperate way for white supremacy to be trampled. However, if we can start up some economic growth, we can end this crisis while our people are broke. Our women are dependent on us to make it through. They say it ain't no good man. Well, that statement ain't true. We can learn to work together today in one unison. Imagine how our lives will be in such fruition. Kids can go to college and dad's paying tuition. The future is vital if they're in the right position. Let's put an end to all the murders and killings. So come together, my brothers, with this unity building. Black men, we're unity building. We're all about our women and all about our children. Black men, we're unity building. We're all about our women and all about our children. Black men, we're unity building. We're all about our women and all about our children. Black men, we're unity building. We're all about our women and all about our children. See, black men, if we come together and unite and start taking control of our communities and start becoming the builders and producers of our communities.
Welcome back. You are tuned in to Everyday People Radio Show and iHeart Radio Station on Intellectual Radio. I am your host, April Deshawn. I am joined by Abdullah. You were just listening to his album, Black First. That was his second album, and that song was called Unity Building. Before we go into this interview, I just want to say shout out to all teachers, all educators. This is Teachers Appreciation Week. Make sure you let your teachers of your children know that they are appreciated. That's what's up. I love your passion. I appreciate you. Salute. Yes. So Abdullah, you're from the west side of Chicago.
West side.
An Army veteran.
Yes.
You served 9 years and did 4 deployments overseas.
Yes.
Can you tell us about those deployments? Where were you exactly?
I did 3 tours in Iraq and I did another one in Afghanistan. I basically served during the during the wars in both Iraq and Afghanistan.
Okay. And now you're going to be releasing your new album on June 8th. But before we go into that, tell us about this song that we were just listening to, Unity Building, on the Black First album. How did you come up with that song?
Unity Building, when I came out with the Black First album, I basically was trying to let our people know that instead of looking for acceptance from everyone else, we need to learn how to respect, love, and cherish each other first. And Unity Building was basically putting out a call to black men that our women and our children should be very important to us, and that we have to unite as black men in order to fix many of the problems that we have amongst not only our people, but within our communities.
Yes, absolutely. That's a good thought process. Think we can do it?
Yeah, I mean, look how far we've come. We've come from slavery. We've come from Jim Crow. We've come from segregation. We definitely could do it. It's a tough process, but we can definitely get it done. It's just going to take brothers like myself on a smaller scale to make things happen before the masses of our people will be able to look at it from a larger scale.
So in actuality, we are doing it.
What we're doing is just not as noticed or as recognized in the media as it should be. But we're going to get there.
Yes.
We're going to get there.
Because we're going to build our own media, right? We got to have our own media so that we can put it out there like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you you started your military career.
Correct.
And then you got out of the military to be a parent.
Oh man, my son was actually born during my last year in the military.
Okay.
He was actually born September 11th.
Okay.
And that was one of the greatest days of my life. I was actually in Afghanistan when my son's mother was pregnant, and the military allowed me to come home to witness the birth of my son. So I was home for about 2 weeks. I saw my son being born. You know, they wouldn't let me cut the umbilical cord because I was so emotional. And when I went back to Afghanistan, I made the decision to get out the military because I didn't want to be one of those parents where I was always gone, being deployed and being away from my family at the time. So I got out the military. Unfortunately, my son's mother and I broke up. However, I continue, and even to this day, I continue to be a strong presence in my son's life. So me being a parent is not as hard as a lot of people put it out there to be. If you have the discipline and if you have the heart and desire to want to do something better for yourself, why not be a father figure for your child? My father, he was in and out of my life growing up. So I wanted to be better than my father. And so this is why me being a parent is not as hard as it would be for other people.
Absolutely. So how do you balance parenting, your artistry, being a hip hop artist, and your work and doing the outreach that you do?
Military structure. Military taught me very well on how to balance every aspect of my life. It's not an easy process. I mean, I got work, school, doing music, doing community work, and also being a family man at the same time. But I balance it very well. And my family comes first before any of this other stuff. So I'm able to greatly balance my family time and make sure that I spend enough time with my son as much as possible.
Okay. You say your family comes first. So do you utilize the village mentality where you all kind of interact with each other and help to raise your child and all the other children in your family?
Yeah, most definitely. I tell people all the time, I actually was a parent before I became a parent. When my sister had my niece and nephew, that actually prepared me for fatherhood because the fact that they didn't have a strong father presence around. I actually was their surrogate father whenever I was at home coming from the military. So me being able to be present and prevalent in my niece and nephew lives, that prepared me for fatherhood. So me spending time with my family, that's not a difficult job. You know, as long as my son sees both his mother's side and his father's side of the family, that brings out the village mentality because it creates a proper balance to having both the masculine and the feminine energy that all children need and grow up with.
Absolutely. Nice. Now, have you always wanted to be a hip hop artist?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. When did you start writing?
I started writing poetry when I was about 7. I was writing love poetry. I was writing about girls I used to like, but I was so afraid to tell them, like, I like you. Will you go with me?
Go with you where now? Your mom used to like, go with you where?
Let's go with me. Let's be my boyfriend.
Be your boyfriend?
Yeah. You know how kids
Be
do.
your girlfriend.
Oh yeah, be my girlfriend. But when I was about 10 or 11, I started listening to Tupac, started listening to Nas, and that grew my fascination for hip hop. So when I was about 14, I started transferring my poetry over to hip hop lyrics. And one of my first songs I wrote was actually a gangster rap, and my older cousin scolded me for it because he was like, "You're not a gangster. You're not a street person. So rap about getting straight A's in school and things like that." So this is what developed into the artist that I am today, being that positive figure. I was always a positive influence in my neighborhood. So I started just writing on the things that was going on in my neighborhood, but also the intellectual side of me. And I use hip hop as an outlet to release some of that insecurities I might have personally had of expressing myself vocally and openly. So this is why I'm very passionate about what I do as far as in hip hop.
Yes. Awesome. What inspires your art the most?
What inspires my art, my dedication and passion for Black people.
Okay. Now I saw you were singing like a hook about past heroes. Is that a song on one of your CDs, or
Yes.
was that just a hook that you came up